It's time for the SVU After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are talking Season 21, Episode 6. Oh, look, we both did it.
We're like, ooh.
Yeah, it's Murdered at a Bad Address. Stick around!
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back! It's SVU. I'm so excited that we're here to talk about this episode. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Taylor Gates.
Hello, hello.
Hello. What are these
I don't know. I'm
things?
just excited.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Let's do that. Hit the thumbs up. Let's start with the episode. Let's start
with the hotline.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Make sure.
Thank you. Yes, this is Murdered at a Bad Address. If you find yourself in a situation where you need help, please call the RAIN hotline. It is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. 4673 spells hope. Also, this after show, we tend to make inappropriate jokes sometimes. So consider this your content warning, and please be aware that we do that before you jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
You've been warned.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we jump into the episode, what did you think of this one?
Okay, I thought the case was great. I thought the case aspect of it, the detective work was really interesting, really well done. I'm a little bit more iffy on the Simon of it all.
Oh, the Simon of it all.
I think
we'll
get into that. I think we'll just get to
Oh
that.
my goodness. The whole Simon thing, you sit tight. I promise we'll talk about
Buckle up, okay?
I have a lot of thoughts. But this episode was chock full of repeat offenders, which I'm going to point out as we get through. The case, at first, I was very confused. When I first started it, and they were like, this story is the murder of these two women. And I went, what does any of this have to do with anything? Who is this third guy? Who are these boys? One of them's dead. I was very annoyed.
Well, and, okay, the title is Murdered at a Bad Address. So I was like, is Lupe dying on us? Like, I was so confused. But I think that it came together really well. Like, I really did enjoy the case of this.
Yeah, I agree that the title was misleading.
Yeah, I was like, she's alive, though.
And it kind of feels like the story should have been about a location where people keep getting assaulted.
Right.
But it was more about, like, the neighborhoods or just people that live, it's one of those storylines of parts of New York that feels unrepresented and uncared for.
For sure.
Rightfully so. Let's jump into this plot. So our girl is attacked in a stairwell. Her name is Lupe. She's 14.
I loved Lupe.
She was
amazing.
Great.
She was so smart.
She gets
was
a
so
shout
brave.
out.
Yeah, Lupe.
I have her name. I have this actress's name. One moment, please. It's Deja Monique Cruz.
She was great.
First of all, I think if I understand her Twitter correctly, she is 19.
Oh, okay.
So she is very much an adult, played 14 beautifully.
Yeah.
And, I believed her.
I did too. Sometimes, not to, hate on any child actors, but sometimes you get them and you're like, maybe that was, they're child actors. But I thought she was great, and I thought she did a really, really good job with this character.
Yeah, I really liked her. So Benson lets Kat take the lead. I loved it, right? We go from this, we're going to handle the case to, you're going to take the lead. I trust you when I'm here.
Yeah, and she was Increase was are we sure about this? And she's like, well, I'm right here if she needs me, which I loved. She was there for backup, which was great.
And there was, I assumed you wrote the line. So she says, Kat doesn't miss a trick. Someone must have stolen her lunch money.
Or someone tried to.
That was beautiful.
That was in one of the script spoilers that they tweeted out. And so I was like, I'm ready for them to say that one because I think that's such a good, little punchline and, that ties that scene up so nice.
I want to clarify, Audrey says, do you mean that some of the neighborhoods are uncared for, rightfully so? No, I'm going to clarify that absolutely. I meant that they felt like the police didn't care, and there's a reason they felt that the police didn't care, is that traditionally those neighborhoods in New York didn't get police attention when it needed it.
And I feel like a lot of shows don't show crimes happening there either.
Right.
It's a lot of super wealthy victims, super famous victims, which happens too, but it's nice that they're kind of shining a light on this.
Yeah, and so
as well.
Thank you, Audrey for pointing that out. Yes, I should clarify. Thank you. All right, so Benson's letting Kat take the lead. We find out from Lupe that the guy had big hands. They were maybe white or Hispanic. He smelled bad. Woody like a pencil sharpener.
Yeah, I thought that was really specific.
It is very specific.
But like, it makes sense that she would say that though. You know, if she's
Go
14, like it would be like, oh, he smelled like wood shavings because he's a maintenance guy. Like pencil sharpener, I was like, oh, that's a good line, I think.
I agree. I don't know. When she said bad, I was thinking
It's like sweat or like dirt.
right,
Yeah.
like a gross person.
Right.
I don't know that I think pencil sharpener.
That's true.
Bad.
I let that slide. So I was like, ooh, pencil sharpener. That's very
It's so specific. Yeah. Awesome. So, and then he says to her, okay, Chiquita, do it nice for Papi, which is gross
It's so gross.
in and of itself.
So,
And then he says that if she doesn't do it, he's going to rape her little sister.
yeah.
And luckily, our team clears the registered sex offenders in the area. Usually, I feel like we have a red herring
Right.
where, like, we either meet the sex offenders or we go and see them at some point or we bring them in, you know? And I think it was interesting to be like, cleared, we're moving on.
I love how they got like, they're like, oh, we should look at maintenance people right away because of the smell. I thought that was really smart of them to be like, oh, this probably connects the dots.
It was Kat who connected it.
Of course it was Kat.
Yep. So we find out that the touch DNA on the headphones match a double homicide from 2003.
Yes.
And I really appreciated them explaining.
That's what I was just going to say because I was like, what?
Yeah. So upon second listen, this made a lot more sense. So the DNA from this double homicide was never tested because they confessed.
Right.
And so the defense never thought to ask to get the DNA tested. It was tested later when they cleared the backlog, as we know from this show.
Yes.
Specifically, Benson has been very assertive with getting us to clear the backlog.
Yeah.
And so neither of the convicted people matched the DNA, who are Ricardo and Carlos, and we'll talk about them in a second. So there must have been a third accomplice.
Yeah.
At this point, with you watching it, did you go, oh yeah, there must have been a third guy? Or did you go, there must have been someone else?
I said third guy.
Oh,
I
interesting.
believe what they say most of the time.
I want to.
But you're smarter than me when you watch the show, to be fair.
I went, if it doesn't match either of them,
Right.
then it wasn't them.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I was like, oh yeah, your logic makes sense. Must have been the third guy.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. So Finn and Creasy go to visit Carlos in jail. Let's stop there. It's Guillermo Diaz, who you may recognize from Scandal, or from season 13, episode 17, Justice Denied, where he played Omar Pena, who was wrongfully convicted.
Like, this guy is typecast. Poor guy.
This poor guy. So here's what's really amazing. The character, the episode that he previously was in, is the episode that uses a clip from a previous episode of SVU. It uses an episode from Quarry, which is when Benson is like at her desk and Cragen comes in to make coffee and he goes, do you want some coffee? And she goes, yeah, and some eggs and bacon and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, coffee's fine. And then she gets an envelope, which takes her to a case. But at the beginning of that, he's like, how'd it go? And she says, I had him sweating in the box for 9 hours. 9 hours he held out. They used that clip because it was tied to no other episode to make sense in Justice Denied in season 13.
Yeah.
So I was excited because I thought that this episode was going to be a continuation of that.
Oh, I see.
And it was not.
It was not. But
No.
Carlos did a great job.
Yes. So Guillermo Diaz, repeat offender. Welcome back.
Can we just have him play, like, someone who gets justice for it? Well, he gets justice for himself.
gets
But, like, can we
justice.
have him be, like, a lawyer or just, like, not in jail for no reason?
Yeah, I would like him to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
He could be another cop.
Yeah.
He
Just
he could
don't
be a-
put him in
he
jail
could be
again.
A victim even.
Yeah.
All right. So Carlos claims that he and Ricky didn't do it. They were coerced into confessing. They have an alibi, but he can't tell. At this moment, I went, got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously I knew that it was going to be something, but I was like, I'm not sure what that
When he
what
looked
that is.
at the cop and then looked back at them and was like, I can't say, I went, he's gay. I don't know
makes
why.
sense.
That was what I went with.
I was like, oh, he was somewhere he can't say. Like, I was just like, yeah, we're going to find out eventually. It's going to matter. But I
feel like Finn should have been like, if you were committing another crime,
right, then
that would get you out of this one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good
like,
point.
were you robbing a store? Were you carjacking?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because those are my favorite, is when someone's like, I couldn't have done it. I was doing this crime.
I was doing something also terrible.
That's my favorite defense. Anyway, so Ricky sent Carlos a letter apologizing for putting him away. Rollins and Kat go to look for Ricardo, find out that he's dead. So then this is going to sound terrible, but this confirmed my theory that they were gay.
Right.
Because he died of AIDS. From prison.
I loved Savannah, Mom's Baker.
Okay,
I loved her.
Yes. Mom's Baker is amazing.
She's great. Bring her back.
Yeah.
I just, like, every episode, I'm like, bring her back. Like, bring her back.
I want more of her history.
Yeah, she's cool. I feel like we, like, continue, I mean, because obviously they've been talking about how there are, like, a ton of cases who are unsolved and, like, wrongfully convicted in this neighborhood. Like, bring Savannah Mom's Baker back.
So good.
It's great.
Audrey, it was Josie in the chat who says whenever they can't give an alibi, they're always gay.
There are episodes that also use that.
It's honestly the reason, if we go back to last season, I was positive that Snoop Dogg was going to be gay.
Yeah.
And I was so bummed that he wasn't.
Oh, Snoop.
All right, so Mom's Baker says Carlos was a mama's boy, wouldn't hurt anyone, and if Ricky threw himself on the floor, he'd miss. Explain that to me.
I don't know, and I liked it. I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
I assume it's something like, he can't hit a, whatever that's saying in. What's the saying?
Hunting?
Yeah.
Wingo? Something?
I don't know. There's like a thing. I got
know.
nothing. I don't know. American sayings.
Idiom.
An idiom?
Yes.
Anyway, it's a weird idiom.
I literally went to college for this, and it took me that long to come up with idiom.
I was raised by foreigners. I don't know American things. Okay. So Rollins was like, but they confessed, and Mom says, do you have it?
I don't.
Down home, we call that railroad.
Oh, yeah. And I love how she's, like, pointedly, like, you're also Southern. Like,
right.
You know this.
I love it. I mean, also, to be fair, it's called being railroaded everywhere.
But, like, but not with that cool twang that she has.
Oh, no, for sure.
I'm not even going to try to do it because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Do it. Embarrass
Railroaded.
yourself. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Nicely done. Thank you. So apparently the detective and the prosecutor didn't care, and Mom says, you know who killed Ricky? That detective. If you're sorry, you talk to him. So we meet Detective Monty. Again, repeat offender.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes, this is Lenny Veneto, who has been in 4 episodes now. He's played the father of a victim. He was in a minivan with a underage prostitute. Now he's played this cop, and I can't think of what the 4th one is.
His range. I said my whole character description is detective is racist and sexist and awful and Italian.
That's great. I did put racist. I put racist and gross. The daughter was 13, built like she was 23.
Yeah, what? He was horny as a bag of cats. That's another great idiom that I'm not sure is a real idiom.
That's not. No. I like Josie's thought in the chat. I thought Monty was going to be the 3rd guy. So he says there was not a chance that there was a 3rd guy. There were other open cases, but the cops couldn't make them. So I just thank God they were stupid enough to hit their own home. It was that moment that I went, you think... Like, first they rape outside the home, and then they went, ooh, let's rape my little sister?
That doesn't make any... Okay, Monty, you tried.
I was so annoyed at him.
He was awful.
That didn't make any sense.
No.
So he says... So then Benson says, we're not looking for the 3rd guy. We're looking for the only guy. Which I was like... Yeah, where have you been?
Whilst they were eating cannolis. What? They're like, oh, you got baked goods. Did you get anything else there? I thought that was a good line, too. I liked it.
So we're looking for a serial rapist. They start searching for the MO. Benson tells Kat to compare the workers from the other projects that may have worked on these. And we narrow it down to 8 guys. Yes. So we decide we can't get their warrant, or we can't get warrants for 8 guys. So we ask for voluntary DNA, and we'll get warrants for the rest. Finn and Rollins go and meet Tim Stanton.
Yep.
I thought this was I was like, the 1st guy? It's the 1st guy?
Yeah. I think they did a decent job of making him like, oh yeah, I just don't want my DNA in the system.
Oh my God.
I was like, because people like will not get like answers or DNA tests because of that reason. So I was like,
oh no, I won't. But I keep saying don't do it. But here's the thing. They're like, can you come look at mugshots? And he's like, I don't have a head for faces.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, can you give DNA to like exclude yourself? And he goes, I don't want to do it. But if you need anything, just let me know. We asked you for 2 things we needed.
You struck out already. Like
I was like, sir, I put it, he was like, if you need anything, let me know. Just, I'm happy to help. I can help any way you want. Oh, except for that.
Except for both of the things that you want.
Oh, do you need something? Yeah, I want to help, but not in any way you want. And then, luckily, Finn picks up his DNA, and they don't have to get a warrant. And the DNA matches.
He says, I'm good to go. And Finn goes, good to go away. I was like, whoa. I love that line.
So Benson wants Lupe to come make a voice ID. And I like this part where they're like, how do we get him in here? And so they're going to tell Stanton that they caught the guy, but they need him to ID because he said that there were sketchy people hanging out. Mm-hmm. And Benson's like, he let someone else take the fall before. So he's definitely going to be like, yup, I'll be there. And she was right.
Yeah.
So the voice ID, I liked that he was not comfortable saying the line because it is uncomfortable.
Awful. But Libby's like, it's him already. She didn't even need to hear the line.
She was like, it's him. It's him. It's him.
Yeah.
Amazing performance.
She's great.
I love her.
She's wonderful.
I have like 15 quotes of hers.
Yeah, she's good.
So Finn tells them that they have his DNA for the murder. And he's like, isn't that double jeopardy or something?
I mean, I was like, not really.
Not really. No.
Just blatantly no.
Yeah. I don't know if you have 20 seasons of law, but...
Awkward how you clearly haven't watched this show before.
So then he asks for a lawyer. Finn and Creasy take photos to Carlos to make the ID about the maintenance workers. And we have this first of the 2, I think, moments where we, like, remind him how long he's been gone.
Yeah.
Because he does not know how to swipe on an iPad.
Yeah.
And then he IDs him, and... He talks a little bit about, like, when you're waiting for maintenance people, especially in the project, if someone shows up, you have them do what they're there to do, otherwise they're not coming back.
Right.
Carisi tells Carlos that he thinks he can get him out, but he needs to talk to the Queen's DA, Keen, who got himself elected by putting Carlos away.
Yikes.
Ugh.
It's a yikes from me.
All right. This takes us to our other big guest star.
Yeah.
Wentworth Miller.
I literally don't know his name. I just wrote Wentworth Miller in my notes.
Oh, he
Wentworth.
plays ADA Isaiah Holmes.
Cool. So Wentworth Miller.
Wentworth Miller, who was previously another repeat offender, was Detective Nate Kendall in 11-1 Unstoppable in 2009. It's a great episode where he's doing something and a victim runs into his crime scene and he's like, oh, we need to get you help. And he calls SVU and then he's like, I'm out. And she's like, where's Nate? I won't do anything without Nate.
Yeah. That's a good episode. Season 11 was full of great episodes, I think.
I mean, 21 seasons of great episodes.
You're right. I have a special place in my heart because that's the first season I had on DVD.
Aw,
yeah.
That's so cute.
So I like watch them a lot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm going to rewatch season 11 now.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So he, apparently he was a professor of Carisi's.
Yes.
And Carisi remembers him quoting Voltaire.
Is this where you're going to talk about your new ship?
This is my new ship, everybody.
We did not talk about this beforehand, but the way you said that, I was like, I know that you like it. And when I was watching it, I was like, yeah.
I ship it so hard.
I'm here for that.
Oh my God. Okay, so my new ship is Holmes and Carisi. I'm open to ship names because I'm terrible at them. But
neither of the last names combined are good. Harisi or Holmes?
Holmes isn't that terrible.
It's not, we can do better.
I open it to the fans, but I ship it. So remember when I shipped Carisi and Kat?
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm okay with that not happening.
If we get this.
I
love that the thing is we ship Carisi with everyone except who the show wants us to ship him with.
No, because they're wrong. That's his sister.
I agree, but I just think it's very funny that we're like, this one. Here's 8 million options, just not that one.
Yeah, but we ship a lot of people on this show.
That's true.
So
As
it's
we
not
should.
just Carisi.
They're all good-looking people.
Oh,
What
yeah.
are we supposed to do?
Also, there was such good chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, there was.
Okay, so we find out, because we'll continue with this ship as we go on. We find out that Keen has dementia. As soon as he comes in and he like starts mumbling about whatever he was mumbling about, I went, this man has dementia.
Yeah, no, I that was like one of the things that I actually got right away. I was like,
How is he still in charge? I understand that like his people are protecting him, but it seems to not be a well-kept secret.
Well, we've had this happen before on the show with the judge.
Go
right?
on.
I forget his name, but he had dementia and people were covering for him. I remember this, but I couldn't tell you the guy's name.
I'm taking it to the chat to
Please
give
tell
us.
me that I'm right. Please tell me I'm not crazy, because
Yeah.
this happened.
So I want either an episode name or a storyline.
Yeah, if
please.
not, I'll just, guys, come through, but if not, I'll Google it after the show.
Okay. So Carisi asks Keen to sign the document to vacate the conviction, and he's like, leave it in my pile of papers. And I want to impress upon both of you not to leave law school.
I was like, oh, this man's not well.
I was like, this man's crazy. Okay, so there's this really amazing scene. I was just, when Stanton and his lawyer are there, this scene was great. My note has nothing because the scene was just so well acted with Stanton being so angry and the lawyer being so cocky.
Yeah.
But
We
our
only have
team,
an ear witness.
yeah, I was like, this scene is amazing.
It was really good.
I loved it. And at the end of the scene, Stanton essentially outs Carlos and Carisi finally puts it together.
Yeah. Like the math lady meme who's like has all the
Yes,
numbers.
yes.
This is him.
So Benson and Kat ask, I'm kind of a little bit out of order here at this point, but Benson and Kat ask Lupe to testify. Her mother doesn't want her because the lawyers will trick her. And Lupe says, do you have it?
Oh.
Nope, I got it.
Say
No
it
one
for me.
can catch me in a lie if I just tell the truth.
Yeah.
You could like see Benson in the background being like, yes.
Can I say that I liked her mom though? I thought that she was like a good parent. We very rarely have like good parents on the show.
Yeah.
But I thought her mom I was like, oh gosh, like, you just never know. Like, the
Right.
parents are either like super controlling or like, I don't know. But I was like, oh, she's a very
Yes.
supportive, good mother.
I agree. And I like that Benson even was like, it's like you're working hard to provide for
Right.
your family.
Yeah.
I loved it. So Carisi and Finn go to Carlos to get him to come out. And they tell him whatever he says doesn't leave the room. The cop leaves. And Carlos says where they were that night. And Finn is like, a lot of people have come out since you got put away.
Yeah, but I like he's right though. And he says out of the closet means into a casket in here. Which I was like, oof.
Yes.
He's totally right.
Right, and he explains that, what's going to happen to him in prison, which I think is an interesting story and one that we don't see on the show enough. And maybe that should be an episode.
Yeah.
So Carlos is like, I'm not going to walk free. Just tell me where my mom and sister are buried.
Oh, so sad.
It was sad. So Carisi takes it to his future lover, Wentworth Miller. And Wentworth Miller's like, are you telling me this because I'm gay? And he's like, no.
Nah. Maybe a little bit.
I was
No.
like, clear, like without his character being gay, I went, yeah, he's telling you because you're gay.
Yeah.
So Holmes gets Keen to sign it, and he told him it was his letter of recommendation to law school.
Classic.
And he says, I didn't hear that, and you didn't say that. And then I thought, this is a moment where I thought that Wentworth Miller was going to ask Carisi out.
Ooh.
I thought he
would've
was
been
going to
here for
be
that.
like, but now you owe me dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so good.
Right? I was like so ready for it. I love it. Josie in the chat says the writers keep putting Carisi in situations where he could be canonically bi or gay, and then they just don't. And I'm really over it.
Come on. Like, he has so much of that energy.
They are. I don't know what show you guys were watching, but he now owes him dinner. So
Yeah, I agree.
whether he said it or not, he owes him dinner.
Yeah, come on, explore this. We need it. We want it.
We really do. Thank you.
Thank you. Exactly. That was perfect timing for that.
All right. So Carlos is set free. He's gonna walk like a man now.
I loved that.
Honestly, I really liked just us seeing the walk.
Yeah.
I don't think that we needed
You can
walk like a man.
now, yeah.
Like a free man. Nah, I didn't need those words.
Yeah, I don't know that I did either. But whatever. I liked the scene. I'm glad we saw him get justice finally.
Yes.
I actually really liked the judge's performance too because she felt bad.
Yeah, she did.
And I love how it wasn't just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, you could tell, like, I don't know, that judge did a lot with a little. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was like, I really am feeling, like, the sadness that this justice system failed him.
Yeah. So Stanton pleads guilty to 2 counts of murder, but not the rape. So Lupe's not going to have to testify, but he's going away. Carlos brings flowers to his mother and sister's grave. There was a GoFundMe for the gravestone. A what? Folks chipped in.
Why did we not name it something other than GoFundMe? Come on. This is another great opportunity.
You're so ridiculous.
To make another company, like, parody of it. It's fine.
I just appreciate the second time of them being like, you've been locked up for a long time.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
I thought that was a really sweet scene, though.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the thing we want to talk about.
Okay.
Noah and Simon.
Yep.
Wait, before we get into Noah and Simon, we have Cole in the chat who says, who is the kid talking to the girl with the ice cream at the beginning of the episode? He's good. And I venture a guess. Are you Cole?
Cool.
Are you
Is that
him?
you?
Is that you? Is that you? I'm
I
looking
agree,
it up.
though.
That is him.
Cole.
Welcome to our
Oh my
live chat.
gosh.
I'm so glad I guessed that.
He was a red herring, too, because I was like, ooh, he's going to do something.
Really? I was like, that kid is definitely not going to do
Oh, I
something.
thought he might. I was like, I don't know. Like, he's kind of catcalling her from his bike.
Can we be impressed that I was like, I have a feeling this is him?
I mean, Cole, great job.
Great
buddy.
job.
I hope you're also a repeat offender on this show.
Give him a dun-dun.
Thank
There
you.
it is.
Thank you.
Welcome. Let's talk about Noah and Simon. Let's go from great news to meh.
Yeah.
Okay. So Simon ambushes them on the street is how I wrote it.
Yeah, like, just what was the timing of, like, I have qualms.
So he's moved to Jersey. He's clean. He has a job. Tracy took the kids. He thought about asking Benson for help, but he was like, I don't want to give you more trouble.
What?
Yes. Yeah, because you are trouble every time.
I know, but, like, this happened so fast.
What happened so fast?
Just all of this, like, he just sees her on this, what, like, why was this?
Here's
why was this?
Here's why. We needed to wrap that up real quick. That's what this whole storyline was.
Why?
Because we see him every few years.
Why, though? Like,
He
why did we
shows
not
up.
just have him in the background, in the sidelines, referencing him every once in a while, or we bring him back for like an arc and like wrap it up that way. But like, you cannot reintroduce him and then kill him in the same episode. Like, that doesn't.
I loved that. I was like, he better die.
No, I didn't like that. He didn't tie into the case. Like, it was just random. It didn't make sense to me. I wanted him to either like come back for multiple episodes and build up to this, because this was all just too sudden for me.
Alice in the chat asked, how did Simon find them on the streets?
That's what I'm saying, Alice.
I think that it was a coincidence that he ran into her. I don't think he actually ambushed them, but in my mind, it was an ambush.
I don't know.
I think it was a coincidence. I think it very much felt like they said, listen, if we don't wrap this up, he's going to come back at some point, because when he had a child with Tracy and named her Olivia, and Olivia went, you had a daughter and didn't tell me. We now have the opposite, right? She has a son, and her only family member is not aware of it.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't think this was necessary. I'm going to be honest with you.
So, okay. I also appreciate a cleanup of his life with what happened with Tracy and the kids. Because last we heard, right, is she got custody, and he had to go away for a bit, and then they would figure it out. And they couldn't get married right then. And so Tracy did the smart thing and was like, you're a pain and a problem. I'm going to live my life with my kids.
I don't know. Was anyone clamoring to, like, see that wrapped up, though, is my question.
No. I want it wrapped up just so that it's like, we don't have to ever deal with it again.
Potential. Like, we just killed him and we could have done more with him.
Oh, I disagree. I think we couldn't have done anything with him to begin with.
No, I really think we could have.
Unless we were going to keep him in her life the way that you would say her partner for 12 years should have been in her life, even if they're not working together.
Yeah.
Then that would have been fine with me. but they didn't keep him in her life. He came in, made a mess of things, and left. And then came in and made a mess of things and left. So I'm okay with him coming in and dying.
I didn't know. I didn't get the point. I feel like we either, like I said, should have seen him in 5 different episodes and ended with this so it's, like, more impactful, or we just, like, don't explore this at all and just have him text her every once in a while. He gets a text or whatever.
I would have been okay with that.
This feels like a weird middle ground to me.
I think it was to give Benson a subplot that was not Noah getting kidnapped, her job being in jeopardy, romantic issues.
I guess, but but who wanted to see this?
No one. So
I don't understand that.
Anyway, they have a lunch date. Shock he doesn't show up.
And she's so mad. And maybe I need to rewatch the episodes with him, but I'm just like, she's being really intense about this for him just not showing to lunch.
No, because she says, I knew this was a bad idea, and she was right. And even Rollins was like, ugh.
He didn't do anything, though.
Last time we saw him was with his kids were getting taken away because his kid had a bruise and he had some pot. And then he kidnapped them.
Dentistry. I remember.
But then he kidnapped the kids. Instead of letting Bayer Ellis do his job, he kidnapped the kids.
I do remember that.
And all Benson kept trying to do was help him. And so then, every time, like, we've had storylines where things that the cops are doing in their personal life is being affected. For example, the entire Amazing Ludacris episode, or 2 episodes, it's brought up that she helped her brother. Yeah. And every time there's an issue, there's like, well, you have that terrible brother. So getting rid of him solves that and gives her this thing where she feels terrible and gives us the return of Warner.
Yes. But first of all, I feel like the return of Warner was overshadowed by this, which makes me upset. By they just killed off this character.
I assume Warner's staying.
I'm hoping so. I don't know. I just wasn't into this subplot whatsoever.
Well, Alice agrees with you.
Thanks, Alice.
Alice also asks, but he lives in New Jersey. Yeah, I think he works in the city. He said something about working.
I don't know, guys. I was just not here for it.
Let's just clarify his death. It was an OD. It wasn't suicide. It looks like he had gotten clean, but then he got himself on the wrong stuff, or his hands on the wrong stuff. It was an accident. And then Benson is like, he was my only family. And I went, what's Noah then?
Yeah, what's Noah?
What's Finn?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have all of these people who, showed up to Noah's, what was it? His adoption party or something. There was that scene with the big party.
You think I pay attention when the kids are involved?
It was there was big a party. His baptism, maybe? I don't know.
No, the baptism was
Amanda's, but I think that Noah had one too.
Girl, I don't know.
But I know that everyone showed up to her house and it was a thing, and I'm like, these people are your family. It didn't feel in character. None of this felt in character for Olivia to me, because I agree that she has had a lot of trouble with Simon in the past, but I also think that she does give people second chances a lot. Yes. So her just being like, never call me again.
This
blah, blah,
was
blah.
his third chance.
I guess, but it felt like it came out of the blue to me, I guess.
I think that her yelling at him is within character. I think him ODing was not, because he if I recall correctly, he smoked pot. He didn't have a drug
problem.
Yeah.
I just feel like we got so much cool build up with them back way back when she found out she had a brother, and then it was just oh, he's dead in 1 episode, and we hadn't heard from him for 5 years. I was like, that's just a bummer to me.
Alice says end of season 16 there was an adoption party.
Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you.
There was a child in a scene. I'm out. All right. Yeah, so Benson says to Rollins that he died after Rollins felt really bad about what she said, and then Benson was like, you were right, and then he died. And so Benson says, what if my message was the last thing he heard? And Rollins said, most likely the life he led, it was just his time. And I went, disagree.
Yeah.
The life he led, it was, sorry, this isn't Kim. Right. Kim ODing, sure, I'd believe it.
Yeah, but Simon, we didn't get that.
No, Simon getting hit by a truck, I'd believe. Yeah. Getting shot because he kidnapped someone, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Went to Tracy's house and she shot him. Yes.
I just wasn't here for this storyline, man.
I was happy to see him back. I was happy to wrap it up.
Okay, that's fair.
I didn't need anything that happened in between was unnecessary.
All right, that's fair. Oh, we disagree over like one thing, so that's cool.
Awesome. We have some news.
We do. Some really good news.
Really good news for the show. We've been clamoring about it for a long time.
Yeah, we have.
And it seems that our good friend Kat has been promoted
to a series regular.
Okay, so Kat is staying on the show.
So excited.
Does that mean
She'll be in the credits?
yes?
That's what I'm asking too.
I can't wait.
She's so great. I love her so much.
I hope that at the beginning of the season they said, "Look, it's likely that you'll be promoted, but we can't make that promise yet. We have to see how the fans react, and we freaking love her." So they took the photo and are ready to like slide it into the edits.
Because we have we have like 4 people in our group shot. I'm like, let's just widen the angle a little, just like have
And
her
there
in there.
she was there.
Yeah, and we just like, oh, there she is.
I was noticing in the intro this week, I was like, man, it's so tight.
Tiny.
Our team is too small.
But we have Kat.
We have Kat staying,
I'm
so
excited.
congratulations to Jamie who's playing Kat. Also, every week we do a fun poll here. Do you have the results from last week?
Yes, I sure do. So last week we asked, what was your favorite like beat the clock episode?
Oh, right.
So in third place, we actually have a tie for a little bronze medalists. Countdown, which is season 2, and Scavenger, which is season 6. Those both got 8% of the vote. In second place, we had Midnight in Manhattan, which was the one we talked about last week. Great episode, really liked that one. That got 23%. And then, no surprise, the overwhelming amount of voters voted for 911, which is, of course, the one that Mariska won her Emmy for. It makes sense that won. It's a great episode.
That one had a kid in it.
It did, but it's a great episode.
That one's just Mariska and a kid.
And a phone.
And a phone.
She won from yelling at a phone, and I respect that so much.
Great. So this week, what is our poll?
Our poll this week is our favorite, like, wrongly convicted episode. So
What? That's such a clever concept based on this episode.
wow. We have Countdown, or sorry, not Countdown. Whoop, that was last week. Confidential, which is season 11, episode 15.
Okay, so Confidential is the one where the boss raped the woman and he strangled her with his karate belt, which he keeps in a shadow box. Yes. And after he strangled her, he passed the shadow box to his lawyer and she couldn't say anything, and then he gets murdered. And then the lawyer is like, I'm going to come clean because a man has been sitting in jail for the last time he did this.
Yes.
That's Confidential.
Wild. We have Justice Denied, which is season 13, episode 17. That's the one we were talking about earlier.
Yes, that is Guillermo Diaz's other episode where he is convicted for rape, and it's a sailor. And I was just reading a whole discussion about that episode because the sailor is Portuguese. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so yeah.
And then we have Making a Rapist, which is season 18.
Oh, okay. So Making a Rapist is the one where they clear the backlog. Joe Biden is in that episode talking about clearing backlogs. And it's the episode where the guy was wrongfully convicted, gets out of jail, goes out to dinner with the woman he was convicted of raping and her daughter, and then ends up raping, killing her daughter.
Yes. And then we have this week's episode, Murder at a Battered Guy.
Ooh.
I don't know. We have some really good ones in this batch.
Yeah, those are all great episodes.
I did like this one a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was good. I think it's been a really solid season so far.
So far, we're only 6 episodes in. I'm so excited for more. Great. Those are our poll and our news.
Yeah.
There was no deleted scene released. This was not ripped from any headlines. No real SVU news. If anyone's been following the Epstein story, for those who aren't aware, the episode Flight.
Yeah.
Check that out. So currently, his family had an investigation done on his death, and that investigation says that it was not a suicide. I'm leaving that where it is. There are beliefs on all sides. Beliefs on all sides. So let's head into predictions.
Let's do it.
Predictions. Oh, great. We have a sound effect.
We do. Will you say all the lines in the announcer voice as you do?
I'll try.
Okay, I love it.
But not in order. Okay, so Margaret chose the guest star, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
The biggest sting operation SVU has ever attempted. That's what you wanted?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And they rescue hundreds of women.
Here's my theory.
Okay.
I think this is going to be like a big trafficking case. And I think that Margaret Cho is going to be like a madame. Is that what you would
Madam?
call it? Yeah, madam.
Madam. A madame.
But she's like, your case is going to go south. Like, I think that she is in on all of this and is running things.
Interesting. Here's the thing about... Okay, so I'm a big Margaret Cho fan from, like, her comedy. So her in the trailer, I was cracking up because it sounds like, if you've ever seen, like, her old school comedy, it sounds like the impression she does when she does her mother.
Oh.
And so I was like, this is fun. I can't take it seriously. So I really hope that very quickly I get pulled in and stop thinking of Margaret Cho doing an impression of her mother.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair.
And if you haven't seen her comedy, you really should.
I kind of want to right before I watch the episode.
To be fair, I don't know if any of it still holds up. It's her stand-up's old.
Okay. Yeah. I'm excited, though. I do think it's going to be a trafficking case, though.
I think trafficking case is a safe bet. I would love predictions. We see the dinner date between Wentworth Miller and Carisi.
I would love that so much.
He owes her.
That would be a cool plot, like to have one of our characters come out. I feel like he's already like we all know, but like to have them find. I just think that could be cool.
I think I'm gonna predict that Kat, being the like millennial in the group,
true.
Is gonna be like, I'm fluid.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Kat's not straight. We know this.
Do we?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do we know this, or is this like season 1 and 2 and 3 of Benson, where everyone's like, Benson and Cabot?
I don't know. I just get vibes from Kat. I mean, maybe that's just bias, but I don't know. The way she was talking to what's her name in last week's episode, I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, ooh.
I would love it for a lot of our people to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume Finn is not. I could see Finn being like, nah.
I don't think he is either.
But that would be how he'd respond.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me.
I tried once, nah.
I love Finn so much.
Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. Taylor, where can everyone find you and the poll?
Yeah, you guys can find me and the poll on Twitter at alphaba_Ann and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
Yay! I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I don't know why I did this, but I did. This guy.
This guy right here.
I'm tweeting about SVU pretty much all week long, so please join me on Twitter. Thank you so much for everyone joining us. We had a lot of people in the chat this week.
Yeah, it's so much fun when you guys join in.
I love it. We're here every Sunday at 3 p.m., and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.